What's up, my little more than lube techs? So tonight I got some juicy stuff for you. We're gonna do a couple small things. Went and got some new belts. 'Cause apparently, the old belts, well, they just were not really doing well. We were gonna retension them, and then decided when we got a better look at them that they were probably drier than the salt flats. So, we've badged her up to a 390, so she's running hotter now. But the problem is, it's got heat, but when you turn the heater on, the fan motor tries to kill the engine. Well, that can be one of a few things. Old fan motor need oil, but don't make a lot of noise, so I don't think that's it. But I got to noticing, digging around up under the hood, and I found out we've got some dirty battery connectors. They're dirty. These are not too clean. But on a good note, she got a brand new set of Reebok. Well, brand new set of used Reeboks. We got some BFGs on here. One general grabber, but, we did good. Good set of used tires. 90% tread. Boy, she's riding like a queen's chariot now. So, we're going to slap these belts on. Nothing incredibly special about that. This is not the best engine to show you how because you can't see it very well. All it involves is slipping them over the pulleys, tensioning them, and then tightening the tensioning screw. You can figure that out on your own at this point. I may make a video on something a little more visible, but then I'm going to do a pretty simple thing in this video on how to clean up some battery terminals. And then we may tickle on the timing and do a couple other small things. It's probably going to be kind of a random video, but the main thing is I'm going to show you something pretty important. When they're a little slow to start, this one's been getting a little slower to start. And when things like the electronics, dim the headlights or make it idle different, you probably got some problems with your battery connections. That's the first and easiest thing you can do, so we're going to show you how to do that. So, we're here at Andrew's dad's shop. We got a special guest coming out later tonight. The one and only Josh Meservey, one of my personal heroes. So, I'm going to move ice cold Coca-Cola. So, battery terminal cleaning tool, right here. It's got two parts to it. This part cleans the terminal on the battery. This brush part up inside of the little round cone cleans this. Now, the whole deal with an electrical connection is you want more surface area for a better connection, allows more amperage through, and doesn't lose as much energy through heat in the connection. So clean connections are good all around on your electronics. A lot of old cars have a lot of problems with grounding. You got grounding straps. There's one over here on the power steering pump running to something. Everything's got to be connected because the ground wire of the car is the car. So you can always do pretty well by cleaning up those ground connectors and stuff like that, So the main thing, though, cleaning up battery connectors. So we're going to take this right here, so I don't stab myself with all these good little pokely jigglies. Andrew, would you mind being a cameraman for just a moment? Thank you. So you want to take this part right here, slip it down over it, just give her a good old twist. Give the old battery terminal twist. Man, that's a brand new battery. Do it over here. By the way, I'm well aware the colors are swapped on these wires. I didn't put it that way, nor do I care enough to change it. They work good and they're fairly new wires. So those are good and clean now.
Let's get some light on that so you can see how nice and shiny those are.
Yeah. All right, so looking at this over in the light, you can see a lot of that white buildup on there. That's not making a good connection. So you want to take this and put it in there and just ream it out like you're juicing a lemon or something. Just keep on twisting it around. Get that connection good and clean. They make some spray that's supposed to make it stay clean. I don't know how well that works. I ain't never tried it. I ain't never felt bougie enough to do so.
This works just fine for me.
This works fine. One of these tools is pretty cheap at the parts store, and it's basically requires a crescent wrench and this to clean them every once in a while. So
somewhere between 80 cents and $2, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's hard, difficult, or time consuming. It always ensures you got a good connection. I don't know if that gunk wasn't just
I'm
a...
gonna swap with you and show them the nice shiny inside of that now. Got a lot cleaner.
Battery terminals are normally two different sizes. If you got same color wires, you can tell that way. I would disconnect one if you could. Now that can come apart. I broke your dad's nice battery terminal. There we go. Sorry, Josh. I know you're going to watch these later and get on me about that. But, another thing is, an easy way you can tell which wire it is, because my black wire is my hot wire. Which wire runs straight to ground, meaning the body and usually the engine block? Well, the one doing that is the red one here. That's completely wrong, okay? Red wire is normally the hot wire. And that is not correct, but if you could see a little better down in there, it's connected to the engine block. That means it's the ground wire. I don't care what color it is. When you're dealing with these old cars, you're getting out of barns like we do, you're gonna run into some stuff, especially if it's been on a farm where somebody used it to, yeah, right down in there, that's the ground connection right there to the engine. You're gonna deal with some things where people just dealt with what they had. You know, if they had one of these red wires on the shelf and the ground wire is bad, that's what they're putting on there. So don't trust the color immediately. You burn things up doing it wrong like that. So then, when you put them back on, kind of give them a little twist to make a good connection. You're going to need a wrench of some sort of size. What do you say that is? 3/8 or 7/16?
Go 7/16. And every single time your battery's gonna have it right there what it is. Negative, positive.
And you can trust that. Now sometimes it's gonna be too dirty, too nasty, but you can trust that. Make sure you get a good tight connection.
What was it, 3/8?
It ended up being 1/2 inch. I do believe most of them are. Get a good tight connection. Don't get it so tight that you run the connectors. These things ain't too terribly cheap at the parts house.
Can't move it one way or the other.
Nope. And one way you can tell if those connections are not good. Now be careful doing this because you might burn yourself. But one way you can tell is like when it was getting a little slower to start. Now I put an alternator on it when I first got it because if you ran it for 10 minutes, you couldn't start it again because it was using the battery to make spark instead of the alternator and the battery. But one way you can tell if slow to start is because of the cables. Instead of it, you know, you put a new battery in there and it's still slow to start. Could be the starter. Can also be the connection down there at the starter. It could be a dirty connection. I've had that happen plenty of times. You can find where your bad connection is carefully because you can burn yourself. Just reaching up there, tapping it a few times, and it'll be warm if it's a bad connection. They're gonna get warm when you start it. Your hot wires are gonna get warm when you turn the starter over, but it shouldn't be hot. It should be warm, not hot. So I guess that's it for this portion of the video with the battery connectors. But that's how you clean a set of battery terminals. It's always a good idea to do that. It's routine maintenance. Not a lot of people know about it. Not a lot of people think about it. Now you can do it with a pocket knife. I've seen my dad do it countless times with an old case pocket knife. That'll get you down the road. But these things are pretty handy and they're pretty cheap. So it's definitely something if you're going to be doing this kind of stuff, which I hope these videos inspire you guys to do this kind of stuff. It is something you probably want to go pick up at the parts store for a couple bucks. So stay tuned. Don't know if it'll go on a different video, some of the other stuff, or if this will be the whole video right here. I may put a couple of short ones on there so you can watch them on your lunch breaks and such. But thanks for watching.